Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
All systems go.
You're listening to Sudbury News Talk
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
on the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk. I'm AJ Walsh, and I'm joined in the studio here with Billy Brumeler.
Morning.
Billy, yes. Good morning. And we're here as part of Sudbury News Talk on CKLU 96.7 FM. You can listen to us if you go to the website and you just click on the Radio Player Canada app logo. Listen to us on any browser, even if you don't have Firefox. And if you download the Radio Player Canada app and have it on your phone or your favorite device, you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. And you can also catch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live at facebook.com/Sudbury News or youtube.com/Sudbury News. And make sure to follow us and subscribe and share the video of the day, share the page. We appreciate it as we grow the community, and you get a chance to be a part of the show. Make sure to comment as you feel, your comments have something to do with what we're talking about. Keep us in check, all that stuff. We know that you are a huge part of this show. This is your show, and we're just here facilitating it. And yes, good morning. How you doing, Lise? It's just wonderful to get together with all y'all each and every morning. And I apologize for yesterday morning. I think I kind of felt like I blew a tire or something. I just didn't have any energy, and things weren't, I guess, because technology wasn't working properly either, and just kind of just had a humdrum show, it felt like. And I watched it back, and I was right. I was like, where the heck is my energy? Gonna have to do an energy shot like Billy every morning, I think, from now on.
Got my energy shot right here.
But yeah, no, we got through it. So thank you for bearing with us. And as you know, if you're watching the show or listening to the show, it's a work in progress. And I had a great conversation with the GM of CKLU yesterday or the day before, Sunday night, and just some ideas for the show and things like that. So, and we laughed a bit about some of the foibles that we're going through, and I appreciated his support, that he's with us on making the show. As we go, we're going to be bettering it as we go.
That's really important to have that support,
Yeah. Because if we weren't, then we were expected to have like a totally show that's 100% professional right out of the can, which I do think it's impossible to do. You kind of have to work on it as you go. So yeah. And so I appreciated his support, and he had some really great ideas, and we're looking forward to the Wolves season and taking care of that. We have David Bowen coming on board for Wolves games. He will be doing the away games, play-by-play, son of the legendary Joe Bowen, who started also here in Sudbury from Coniston, his dad. And so he played for the Rayside Belfort Canadians and then Sudbury Wolves as well. And now is basically going into a career as broadcasting, following in his dad's footsteps. We're excited to have David Bowen be a part of the Sudbury Wolves broadcast team right here on CKLU and having the games. And so, Billy, you are also a part of that, the live
In-house,
show
yeah.
in-house at the Sudbury Arena.
That's right.
In charge of basically getting the fans going with the atmosphere and the sound and the music and all that stuff. So,
Well, I don't know about that. I'll be mixing the music.
okay.
I don't know if I have the. I don't know if I'll be that guy going rah rah rah.
Okay, yeah. No, you'll just be making sure the raw
Although
raw.
life has a way of putting me in the most oddest
yeah.
of choices.
You never know. With the budget, sometimes you may find yourself doing that as well at some point. So life has an interesting way of doing things too. So, all right. Well, let's get right into the show today. Lots of stuff to talk about. A lot of news happened for a Monday. I'm very surprised. There's lots to talk about. We'll be right back with some weather. And yeah, so weather today, it's currently 11 degrees and it is sunny and it looks like it'll be sunny for the rest of the day. So yes, for all the people who love sun, including myself, this is a great thing. Mix of sun and cloud today. Fog patches dissipating this morning. High of 23. Humidex 26. UV will be high because it's sunny. Wednesday, tonight it'll clear and it'll be a low of 13 overnight. And then a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow. And the high will be 26 and the UV index will be 8. But the temperature will feel like 32 with the humidex. And then the long range will be, as we said, mix of sun and cloud for tomorrow. Thursday, mainly sunny for Friday, 22, 21 degrees respectively. And then the weekend and anything after that, as you can see, Billy, is the mix of sun and cloud for the foreseeable future.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Remember that phrase?
always
the,
safe.
The Long Ranger.
The what?
Is that still? I remember some radio station around here coined that. I think they coined that the Long Ranger. And I think
the
they
long
even
ranger.
had the horse and kind of sound effects to match.
If I was a weather guy, I definitely could
Play on the Lone Ranger, right?
Yeah, the Long Ranger forecast. Yeah, I love that. It's funny. So yeah, if you look at the satellite, this is what it looks like. Brought to you by Environment Canada with all of the cloud cover over and the rain activity. And that just went by us. So we had that yesterday. And so now you can see it's clear skies. So looking forward to a nice sunny, warm day today. If you're getting out there, now's the day. If you want to get out there, now's the time to do it. Enjoy summer while you can before fall and winter are fast approaching. So you want to enjoy it while you can. We'll be right back after this. All right. So we had the weather. We have Billy in the studio. What else could we ask for? Maybe some news stories. Maybe we got all kinds of things going on that we're sharing to our Facebook page.
There is. I'm going to start at the top of your list, which is.
I just shared things early this morning as well, because there's always things going on, right?
Yeah.
There's never a shortage of stuff always coming in, breaking news.
That is, it's a great setup if you ask me. Valley resident launches surveillance effort. Skimming through that one. That is interesting.
Yes.
We talked about this before. Hockey comedy to use Capriel Rink as studio. So I'm guessing that's a go ahead.
Yeah, because at the time we were talking, it wasn't 100%, right? They're in negotiations. So I was interested to look into this too, to see if they actually got a deal or whatever.
Yeah. CRA has 1.4 billion in uncashed checks sitting in its coffers.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting. If you have, it made me think, well, did I get a check or something and put it away somewhere? You know, because they're saying there's a bunch of checks out there that haven't been cashed.
Yeah. I think there's some with my name on it.
Yeah, you
You
hope.
know, unclaimed trillium benefits and
Okay.
I'm guessing. I didn't read the article yet,
Okay.
but I know that there's money that they typically dole out.
Yep.
People who haven't done their taxes, I don't
Yep.
think get these benefits.
No, but you need to do your taxes first.
We'll see if my guess matches the reality in a few short minutes. That's
funny.
some clickbait for you.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of money, and
$1 million lotto ticket.
yeah,
Sold here in Sudbury.
wow. So you got to check to see if you have uncashed checks from the government, and then maybe if you got a ticket for the last draw and you haven't checked it yet and you're from this city, maybe it's time to check it. There's $1 million winner.
That's exciting time for checking tickets.
Did
Fire
you-
marshal
Did you,
called.
just before we move
Yeah.
on, did you buy a ticket for the last draw?
No.
Okay.
I got my mom part of her birthday present. There was some tickets, but I don't think I think it was the draw before.
Oh,
so-
okay. Oh, darn it. Eh? Oh, well.
I could. You ever do that trick where you get the little tab? It sort of like looks like a ticket, but it just shows the winning numbers for a previous draw, and then you can you leave it on your fridge. And it looks like a ticket, and somebody comes and
Okay.
you ask a friend to check it, and they pick it up and they look at oh my god, it's all matching.
Have you seen those YouTube videos? Those are mean.
The fake ones
fake
where
ones, the winners
they think
scratch.
they win, and then they call out every member of their family, tell them what they really think of them, and then someone comes up to them and says, "Yeah, that ticket's fake,"
It is so bad. It is so bad. I feel so bad for those people. But it is funny. It's at the same time.
I guess comedy's kind of in that gray area.
Yeah. If you haven't had a chance to see one of those fake winning ticket YouTube videos, do yourself a favor today. Go on and say fake winner ticket video or something, and just punch that into YouTube. You'll thank us. Believe me, they are funny.
And there's life lessons to be gleaned from them that you can learn vicariously. You
Yes.
don't have to suffer those consequences yourself.
Yeah. You double check. You read the back of the ticket. If anyone ever gives you a ticket and you won, I'd say 20,000 or more or something, make sure to read the back of that ticket, because that's what they get them to do in the videos usually. Hey, read the back of the ticket. See where you can pick up your money. And then they read all this stuff and it says, sorry, this ticket's fake or something.
Novelty, yeah.
A novelty. And then they read it again. They're like, what? And then when the big reveal happens, it's almost, they went down worse than they went up. It's like,
Sure, yeah.
anyways, I hope that hasn't happened to any listeners or viewers out there, because it's kind of sad and funny.
And our next article is fire marshal called in to investigate possible arson in Sudbury.
Okay, yeah, there's a story there. And then one that, might have been easy to overlook is that Sophie Gervais was missing for 3 days or whatever since Sunday, and 14 years old, from Valparaiso, and she has been found and she's safe.
Oh, good catch, yeah.
So that definitely wanted to tell everyone that, just because if there are people,
Mm-hmm.
praying and hoping for the best in that situation, we've had a positive outcome.
Good news story.
Yep.
And now we have a man charged with making bomb threat against a Sudbury courthouse.
Yes. I think it was a Toronto man, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
And a person was killed in Highway 69 crash.
Yes. And that was when the highway was closed yesterday.
Early Monday.
Early Monday, yeah. It was closed, and unfortunately there was a casualty in an accident. Southern Ontario person deceased in that, unfortunately.
And did I get to the end of it? Did you already talk about the Wolves add award-winning coach or Dorval to bench staff?
No, I did not talk about that. I did talk about Zach Stortini going to an AHL club
Oh, okay.
yesterday. You might have heard that.
Right. So this is connected. This is the replacement, I guess?
This is his replacement, which was to be announced yesterday, and they came through on it. They announced it yesterday.
Right on. And students in Ontario schools will not be required to wear masks come the fall semester. The Ministry of Education confirmed on Monday.
Yes. That's a kind of a big announcement these
That's a
days,
big
wouldn't
one.
you say?
Yep, I would.
Yep.
It's a
Okay.
big one around here.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are, on different sides of the fence on that one, parents and students. Some for, some against. And so the
Yeah.
fact that they announced that, it's kind of huge news.
Yeah, and volunteers assist at Hammer Food Bank following break-in.
Yeah.
So there was a break-in. I don't know if we covered the break-in at one point.
Did not. No. That was right after the show, pretty much yesterday. That story came out. A charity in the greater Sudbury community of Hanmer has made repairs after the facility was targeted by vandals and thieves. So this story
That's pretty
goes.
low.
This story goes with the Valley guy who wants to do,
Right.
do his own surveillance.
Yeah.
Which is good. So they go together.
Yeah.
So.
And in
that
my
is a-
mind, these are important local news stories because that's you're kind of tracking, these trends in society. And it's like, definitely if you have an increased crime problem, which I think is probably happening right now,
Yes.
it's you see statistics kind of all over the place on that. But, if you sort of go with what you can see with your own eyes,
Yes.
there's so
Yeah, it's real. Like last night, I looked out and we had a truck in the driveway, and it looked like they were loading something in from one of our portable garages. I was like, "Oh, we're getting ripped off." But no, it was just one of the people in the building unloading his dirt bike. So, but I thought because I was just reading the story, and I thought crime apparently is up in the valley, and I do hear that from people that people are just walking into their garage and taking their vehicles or whatever and breaking into their vehicles and taking things. I thought, okay, here we go. We're getting targeted now too. But anyways, so that wasn't the case, thankfully. But in this case, the Hanmer Food Bank, which I think, and I'm just opening the story here, is the right here. So I got the story up, and then we'll get into the person that wants to do the surveillance here. Thieves made off with frozen meat, food bank chair Wayne Nepsey says. This is a CBC article. Valley East Good Neighbors Food Bank was broken into recently. The third time in 2 years it's been targeted. I just thought that's interesting. You break into a food bank. You could probably just walk in and ask them for something and they'd give it to you. Just thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Charity in Greater Sudbury community of Hammers made repairs after the facility was targeted by vandals and thieves. The Valley East Good Neighbors Food Bank was broken into recently, and the third time in 2 years it's been targeted. Wayne Nepsey, chair of the board of the food bank, said not only did thieves make off with a bunch of frozen meat, but the culprits also damaged the door frame when they kicked it in. After they discovered the damage, volunteers pitched in to make repairs and secure the door from any further incident. So Nepsey said, I was able to scourge enough lumber from my own home lumber pile that I was able to reinforce the door frame. And I was able to repair the steel door with material that I had at home. So they basically just, and here's a picture of the damage there. Yeah, so that's the way you kind of do it when you're on a shoestring budget and you're a local organization like that. You don't have lots of resources. And so it's like the very people stealing from them are probably their clientele, possibly, if they're stealing meat from them.
Yeah, it's hard to follow the logic on that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And then they also, I guess, shared it on Facebook,
Yeah. Well, and again, the silver lining, it's nice to see the community come out and
support.
help fix it all up.
And I think, the coverage that they get, and, there are really great people in our community that reach out and, volunteer to help and
Mm-hmm.
share resources and things like that. So that goes right into our next story,
So-
but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, with the surveillance effort. So I guess they used to have a bit of local funding, which sounds like it got cut off.
Yeah, so Valley East resident launches surveillance effort, and Scott Sagan says we have not seen any police out here, meaning out here, in the valley. And he's taking community safety into his own hands.
And I guess, let's see.
He's running
He's also running for city
Yeah.
council, eh?
for Ward 6.
Yeah. All right.
And he spent recent nights patrolling several areas in the valley.
Well, he sounds like a doer.
Started his campaign for community safety when he got back from a weekend away. And Facebook was flooded with more than a dozen reports of break-ins and vehicle thefts in the area, just like we've been hearing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was prompted to act after City Hall cut $58,000 in an annual budget for the citizens on patrol, which engaged community members to patrol their neighborhoods looking for unusual, suspicious activity. You know, there's pros and cons to that too, because I know I lived in Coppercliff and they had a really strong community,
Yeah.
program. And I always felt, I'm just walking down the street, and they're kind of going slow, wondering if I'm up to some nefarious activity or whatever.
Right.
I just felt, okay, well, I think it's good that they're here, but I just didn't want to be some target of, them thinking I'm doing something. Every time I come out of my house, they're kind of looking at me.
I guess it's a fine balance. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Wonder if they have COP in the valley. That's what Miles is asking.
What is COP? Cops on patrol.
Or citizens on patrol.
Citizens on patrol.
Yeah,
Cops on
'cause
patrol.
it spells cop.
Yeah.
That's funny
Yeah.
that the acronym is COP because, get it confused.
Yeah. I think I had that idea in my mind when I was 8 years old, and it just kind of stuck with me.
What's that?
Cops on patrol.
Yeah. Well, cops are on patrol, but I guess we don't see very many of them out in the valley. And Sagan, good on you too. You're running for council and you're sending out a media release about something that you're doing to take charge of. It's just good PR. Like I'm giving you a 10 out of 10 on and you're just throwing in that you're running for Ward 6. I just think that's a good PR move on your behalf. And I'm not saying that sarcastically. It actually is good.
Yeah. He's putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have to spend any money for the article either.
Yeah. Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, exactly. Sagan said he was prompted to, after they cut $58,000 from the budget for the citizens on patrol, which I think Miles is alluding to, which engaged community members to patrol their neighborhoods looking for unusual, suspicious activity. And the end of the program left a void, which Sagan contended has been filled by those with nefarious intentions. He likes the word nefarious too, apparently.
Well, it's a thing. I guess.
I use that word quite a bit. He told the Sudbury Star that our community has had more than 20 vehicle thefts in the last month and more than $1 million in private property damage.
Wow.
The Greater Sudbury Police is more than 200 calls behind and 3 weeks behind in responding to calls. Actually, I don't even feel good saying this out loud because then someone's listening going, oh, they're that behind? Maybe now's my chance. Anyways, well, it is what it is. They're behind, unfortunately. 200 calls in 3 weeks behind. My community is under attack by criminal activity, and city councilors and Greater Sudbury Police aren't doing anything about it. Even this week, Sagan pointed out homeowners endured thousands of dollars of damage during a bike theft. We've not seen any police out here. Nobody's doing anything for our community. And after learning funding was cut for the COP, Sagan decided to launch his own surveillance program to keep an eye on the streets of the valley and discourage the crime he said has become rampant. Now, do you get a badge? That's all I need to know.
I don't know if he
You
gets
get a badge.
I think he gets a badge of honor
Mm-hmm.
from his community. But yeah, that's the trouble with this kind of stuff escalating. I don't know if you've seen. It seems like there's more videos these days of like kind of vigilante justice from countries around the world where the law enforcement is kind of dropped off and the people don't feel protected anymore. And
Yep.
it's
I know.
yeah, it gets a little scary. It's kind of nice. It is really nice living in a civilized society. We don't want to lose that.
Yep. No, it's true. He said, if I see any suspicious activity, I'm making notes, taking pictures, and submitting that to the police. If I see any active crimes in progress, I'm reporting that immediately to the police. I guess eyeballs on the community isn't going to hurt. I guess it helps the police in that way to have more eyes and ears out there, right? So Miles says, I'm sure more volunteers are needed for Citizens on Patrol or whatever program. Correct, for sure. Yeah, and I guess you do need funding, right, to some extent, or you don't need funding from the city. I guess you can take matters into your own hands, like Sege has done. So
Yeah.
don't always have to wait for others. Take
No,
initiative.
you know, for a long-term solution, it's kind of nice to have funding maybe to compensate people. There's but I guess in the short term, when you have a sudden kind of explosion of these crimes, which kind of sounds like
Yep,
20 vehicles in a month,
quite a bit.
is that unprecedented, do you think?
For a place that's relatively, I would almost say crime free that I remember, very few crimes would take place in the valley historically.
Yeah.
So to have 20 in 1 month that we know of, yeah, definitely quite a bit. And I remember Councillor Kerwin thought that there was an elaborate kind of
Oh, they're taking the bus out
organized.
here, yeah, to yeah.
They'll take the last bus out to go to a pit party, and then they get recruited by these organized crime people, and then they're sent out to do crimes. And yeah,
Yeah. Well, don't think he's wrong. I mean, there's a lot of organization that goes into a lot of these things.
for sure,
Probably more than surface appearances.
definitely. Well, there you go. So that's that. Hopefully, the Citizens on Patrol and the candidate for Ward 6, Sege, will have success doing that and success in the election coming up very shortly. Talking to Rob, the general manager of CKLU, said that we're going to be sending out an email once all the candidates are in, and the deadline to put your name in to run for either mayor or councillor of the city. When that's all in, we will then send out a letter inviting all of the mayoral candidates and councillor candidates to know that you can have time on this show and other shows on CKLU to voice your platform and to be interviewed and to let others know what you would do if you were elected, basically to give everybody the same amount and not be biased and say, okay, so and so can come on but you can't. And he did say, though, he didn't think a debate format would be the one to do. I think we were joking about that on a previous show, to have them come on and actually debate. He said he didn't really feel that would be the right format.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, there's pros and cons to debate, which sometimes it's just nice to be able to like lay out your whole platform without, having to sort of do any back and forths.
Yeah. So we're going to be sending that
I like
out.
the debate format as well, though.
I love a debate format, but it'd be really hard because you'd only be able to have certain ones on in this format.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you have on? Do you have, like, let's say there's 10 mayoral candidates. You have all 10 on to speak, and how can you do that in an hour? And we're not professional
Moderators.
Although we could probably do a good job, I would think, especially if we put some time into it. But at the same time, I don't know. Leave that up to other organizations to do the debates, and we just do the interviews, kind of thing. So, and with that, the views on this show, just so everyone knows, do not necessarily reflect that of Laurentian University or of CKLU. This is an independent show. We are volunteers, just like anyone else who does a show on CKLU. And so we may say things of our points of view that don't reflect Laurentian University or CKLU. So we just want to make sure that's clear. And that's why it's really good, because when the candidates come on, their views may not necessarily reflect that of Laurentian University or the station as well. So that's what this station is so good for. I'm looking forward to that. So this is a story here, the one about Cape Real Arena being used. Because this is something that we had an idea for a long time ago, to turn these hockey arenas that may not be utilized as much as they could be for sports and hockey or any kind of ice sports, to be refurbished and repurposed for the use of film studios, because they're so open. They're perfect for
Just
that.
huge rooms. Yep.
Yeah. But I think this is more interesting because an arena is being used to film an actual hockey
Hmm.
show. So it actually does have to do
They
with the
got
arena.
they get a lot of bang for their buck on
They
that
get
one.
a lot of bang for their buck. Hockey comedy to use Cape Real Rink as studio. The city's planning committee unanimously approved the resolution Monday to allow the production studio behind Letterkenny and Shoresy to lease a portion of the Cape Real Arena full time for the next 3 years. So yes, they did go ahead with that. Before, we were just talking about it as an option or an opportunity. The proposal, brought forward by film production studio New Metric Media, was met with enthusiasm from the committee members, who praised the company for its ongoing investment in the city of Sudbury. Jeff McCausland said that the team at Letterkenny and now Shoresy have given so much to Greater Sudbury, and really worked to put us on the map. I absolutely support this. I suspect we could have spent gobs of money on economic development to get us on the map and gotten less in results that what Shoresy has done for our community. The approval will allow the production company to gain exclusive full-time access to one of the Cape Real Community Center Arena's 2 ice pads and its associated rooms, as well as the upstairs hall and ice surface, on a per-use basis during production. Yep.
All right. For 3 years.
For 3 years. The space would be used to build multiple sets, and will provide a permanent storage option for sets and props during the production, which saves them money as well, right? They have one place. They don't have to be driving around the
Mhm.
city, looking for places to put their stuff, storage, you name it. Now they got a one-stop shop in the Cape Real Community Arena.
Let's say they had 2 ice pads there.
They do, so they'll be using one of them,
Wow.
so that the other ice pad is used just for.
That's pretty rare around here, right? Like
It
a
is.
2 ice pad place.
It is. We have it at the in the south end,
Okay.
but it is rare.
Yeah. It's one of those rare infrastructure requirements that attract like the big tournaments. I hear.
Exactly. Yeah.